It was a bright Sunday morning. The park was alive with laughter, children running freely, and families relaxing under the shade of trees. Parents chatted on benches while kids played games, filling the air with joy. Among them was a cheerful little boy, dark-skinned, curious, and full of energy. He spotted a group of children playing football. With a wide smile, he ran toward them, eager to join the fun. At first, the children looked at him with curiosity, but just as he was about to kick the ball, one mother rushed forward and pulled her child aside. Her face tightened with disapproval. She whispered loudly enough for others to hear, "Don't play with him. Stay away." The boy froze, confused. His smile faded as he looked down at his hands, wondering what he had done wrong. The other children stood silently, too young to understand why they were suddenly being separated. The mother's voice grew sharper. "I don't want my child mixing with kids like him." A silence fell over the group. Parents and strangers in the park began to turn their heads. The once cheerful park now carried an uncomfortable tension. The boy's parents rushed forward, shocked and hurt. His father asked, "Why are you stopping the children from playing together? What harm has my son done?" But the woman replied coldly, "Your child is not like ours. Look at him. Why should my children play with him?" The father's face turned pale with anger. Other parents began to murmur. Some tried to calm the situation, while others fueled it by nodding in agreement with the woman. Soon, voices were raised, and the peaceful park became the stage for an ugly argument. The dark-skinned boy, holding his mother's hand, looked around with tears in his eyes. He couldn't understand why he was being rejected for something as simple as the color of his skin. As the shouting grew louder, an elderly man who had been sitting quietly on a nearby bench stood up. His voice cut through the noise, steady but strong. "Enough," he said firmly. The crowd turned to him. His presence demanded silence. He walked slowly toward the families, leaning on his cane. Then he spoke. "Tell me, what exactly are you teaching your children right now? That skin color decides who they are allowed to befriend? That one child is better than another simply because of how they look?" The people shifted uncomfortably. The woman who had started the quarrel avoided his gaze. The old man continued, "Children are born pure. They don't see black or white, rich or poor. They see only friendship. But it is us, the adults, who poison their innocent minds with hate. If we plant seeds of division today, what kind of trees will grow tomorrow? What kind of society will they build?" The words sank deep into the crowd. Even those who had agreed with the woman now lowered their heads in shame. The woman, who had stopped her child from playing, felt her face burn with embarrassment. She glanced at the dark-skinned boy, who stood silently, clutching his mother's hand. For the first time, guilt filled her heart. Without saying a word, she grabbed her child's hand and walked away quickly, her head bowed. The silence broke when the other children, still holding the football, ran toward the boy and pulled him into the game. "Come on, play with us," one of them said with a grin. The boy's tears turned into laughter as he kicked the ball with all his strength. The sound of joy returned to the park, washing away the bitterness of moments before. The elderly man smiled gently and said to the crowd, "Remember, equality is not a choice. It is our responsibility. If we cannot teach our children to love, then we are teaching them to hate. And the fault will be ours, not theirs." That day, the people in the park went home with heavy thoughts, but also an important lesson. One small incident had revealed a big truth. Humanity is greater than skin color. The boy continued playing, his laughter echoing in the air, a symbol of innocence that should never be broken, and everyone who witnessed that moment knew. The future could only change if the present did.